Welcome. This is Gentle Yoga for Cancer, and I'm Rebecca, and I welcome you today. It's June. Can you believe that it's June? I'm finding it quite remarkable. So, I had a thought as I was working with this concept of intentionality last week about creativity versus reactivity. That the opposite of being reactive isn't being non reactive, but being creative, using beginner's mind and curiosity to find new ways to respond to any situation, but particularly difficult situations. Meditation and mindfulness, yoga, are the vehicle that allows a different script to be written instead of the reruns we play out over and over again. Allowing ourselves to be beginners, to learn something new, to be in unknown situations without instantly labeling them as dangerous or undesirable or even favorable, positive. If we can avoid labeling and stay with our curious mind, our beginner's mind, our practice will then give us the space to explore. So, as we go through practice today, let's try to cultivate curiosity and observe how our bodies react. And if we can access creativity in how we approach any challenges that come up. So, taking a comfortable seat for breath work and meditation, taking a moment to really ground, allowing the activities of the morning to fade away, and the to-do list of the afternoon, now that we have to-do lists again, to be in the future, allowing yourself to be fully present in this moment with your body and breath. Begin to notice your sensory environment. What are you feeling around you? What is beneath your feet, your bottom, your hands? Maybe your hands are on your lap or on something in front of you, or even on the floor. Notice the textures, the temperature of what you can touch. My floor feels cooler than my leg does. Notice the light you can see in your space. Can you see different textures around you? And then allow the eyes to close or take a soft gaze, turning your attention a little more deeply inward. What do you hear in your space beyond the sound of my voice? Can you discern what sounds are close by and which are further away? Can you hear the sound of your own breath as you inhale and exhale? Notice where you feel the breath, if there's a particular place, and see if you can hold your attention in that spot through a series of breaths. On the inhale, notice. On the exhale, notice. And then begin to follow a breath. From that moment of inhale, where does it go? What is the sensation you feel of inhaling? Notice the moment when the inhale, pardon me, turns into the exhale and the breath leaves the body. And that decision that your body makes naturally to breathe in again. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's go through a brief body scan just to see what's present for us today. starting with the crown of the head. As you inhale, see if you can sit up a little taller, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky. Feel the strength of the inner body, the skeleton, the muscles holding in towards the bone to create that structure of the body. As you exhale, see if you can feel, excuse me, a little more grounded in your seat or on the floor, wherever you are. From the crown of the head, scan across the muscles of your face, the back of your head down to your neck and shoulders, around to the jaw, and the front of your neck, your throat. Bring your attention out along your shoulders and down each arm, all the way to the center of your palms, and then into your fingertips. Bring your attention back to the center of your heart, feeling that space expanding with the inhales, contracting as you exhale. And then draw the attention down along the rib cage, the spine in the back, around to the belly. Can you soften there to receive a full breath? Into the hips, the lower back, the glutes, pelvic floor. Engaging just enough to hold you where you are in place, and then letting go. Scanning along the length of each leg, to your knees, down to your ankles, through your feet and in to your toes. What's present? Can you observe without judgment and approach each sensation with curiosity? Let's take 5 breaths here. And after the 5th exhale, releasing control of the breath, coming back into your body, into the room. And just taking a moment to notice the experience of slowing down, getting quiet, and observing. Let's continue with sun breaths. Inhaling, palms float up to the ceiling. Turn your palms down as you exhale, softly releasing arms down. Now, of course, your arms can come just to where is comfortable in your body. The idea, though, is to connect the movement and the breath. So it takes the whole inhale for arms to rise and the whole exhale for them to lower. Take a few more inhales up and exhales down. Feel your arms, your shoulders moving along your spine, along the rib cage. And the next time that you're inhaling to reach up or out, stay for just a moment and then exhale and come into goddess arms. Yes, we can all be goddesses today. If it has to be, goalpost, I accept that as well. Inhale and open across the chest, squeezing shoulder blades towards each other, palms face each other. Inhale here, and then bring the right arm over towards the left. Turn and look towards your left arm. Inhale back to center, and exhale left to right. Inhale to center. This time as you exhale, bring the arms towards each other. Maybe they touch. Inhale to open. This time we'll go left to right. Exhale. Inhale to center and right to left. Inhale to center. Exhale, arms come in. Inhale to center and release. Let the arms go. Shake it out. And inhale back to goddess arms. Let's just do a little wrist circling here. You can make it as fancy as you like, or you could even make fists. Changes the sensation a little bit. Reverse direction if you haven't already. And then come to stillness, bringing the right hand to your hip. We're going to come into a side bend up and over to the right. This is the I'm a little teapot side bend. Inhale through center and switch arms. Exhale over to the left. And switch. And switch. And goddess arms. Bring one hand to each shoulder. And then release down. Shake it out. And we'll come into our crow crawl. So I'm going to sit back with hands behind me for support, walking my feet out to the outer edges of my mat. Now, if being on your hands is uncomfortable, you can make fists. You could even come down onto your elbows if that's better. From here, we'll begin to gently drop knees from side to side. Really have the legs wide enough apart so you can drop your knee in between the knee and the heel, the other leg and the heel. So staying with this or releasing and coming into a twist. So knees drop to the right, left arm comes around, back through center to the other side. Take your time with either version, getting a little bit of movement into the body. And then come back to sitting. Extend your legs out in front of you. They don't have to be close together, but they can be a little closer than they just were. Maybe your hands stay behind you for some support. And we're going to work with a little bit of joint mobilization in the legs. So first, go ahead and flex one foot and point through the other. And then switch and switch. Now, if you tend to cramp when you point your foot, just do what I call Barbie doll feet. So point, but with the foot, not the toes. Give that a try. Switching, 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 switching. Couple more, and then let's make circles. Now, I like to make circles with the whole leg. Come back a little further. So I'm going to circle my feet in, let my legs turn in a little bit, then roll them out and come back in. Do you see how the movement is coming right from the hips? I mean, the feet are working as well. The ankles and the knees are bending a little bit as I come around. Now let's see if we can reverse that. So it's a little bit of a bend and a flex in the feet, external rotation, and then in and around. Just a couple more like this. And then come to stillness and tiny little bounces to shake out. Now, again, hands behind you, go ahead and bend your knees. And we're going to bring the left knee above the right knee, the left ankle above the right knee. This may be fine right here. If it's possible, do some circling of the ankle and reverse the other direction. And gently switch, getting a little stretch in the hips. And circling. And then slowly make your way down onto your right side. Feel free to make sure you have comfort. So if your floor is hard, you may want something like a folded blanket, or I use these bits of mat that I'll put underneath my hip. I'm going to grab my bolster as a pillow. Aha, I forgot to remind you to have your strap handy because you may want to use it. So if you don't, go ahead and get it. Have the strap handy and then come all the way down on to your side. Let your knees bend. I'm using a pillow, but you could also bring your head onto your own arm, whatever feels best to you. Let your hips and knees be bent at about 90 degrees. Your top arm can be down on the ground for support. Trying not to get feedback for my AirPods here. Okay, so from here, take your top knee and draw it up towards your shoulder. A gentle stretch here. Feeling the stretch, maybe you feel some release in the hip, maybe a stretch in the back of the hip, in the glutes. Now from here, holding behind your thigh, begin to press your foot up towards the ceiling. If this is difficult, you may use a strap that you wrap around your foot and then hold on to press up towards the ceiling. So we're taking a long stretch, mostly in the back of the leg. You can let your knee be bent. If this is a big stretch for you, please do. You'll get some stretch in the inner thigh as well. And from here again, we can do a little bit of pointing and flexing and circling, harder with the strap. And then from here, we're going to bend the knee and either with the strap or if you can reach to grasp your foot or ankle, going to draw the leg, the foot behind, coming into a stretch for the quads, for the thighs. So if you have a strap, you can hold on to it and draw back. If you can hold on to your ankle or foot, that works as well. And the idea is to press your knee away and draw your heel towards your bottom. If you're holding a strap or if you're holding on to your foot or ankle, see if you can gently press your foot into your hand or strap, increasing the stretch a little bit. Using my AirPod here. And then gently release, let go of the strap, and bring this leg in front. So if you can, you'll come into this kind of figure four position and hold on to your ankle, extend your leg out long. And exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. And inhale, release. Two more. And last one. And make your way back to our starting position. Now we're going to do a transition to the other side. I've done this in class for those of you who have been in the room with me, but we haven't done it in a while. So we're opening a book. Bring your hand to your top knee and gently begin to open your book. See how I'm rolling onto my back. My other leg is going to follow at a certain point. Too close to the wall. And then I'm going to draw the first knee down, and then the other knee will come, and I'll roll to the side. We'll open again, roll to the back, and close, open, and close. One more time to each side. One leg initiates and the other leg follows. And then roll on to your side. Now I'm going to turn around so that I can see you. You can feel free to do the same if you need to. Have your strap at the ready. And find your starting position on your side. Okay, so drawing your knee up towards your shoulder. Maybe you engage the strap around your foot. And then press the foot up towards the ceiling. Maybe you're just holding behind your thigh, or maybe you're using the strap. If you can extend fully through the knee, then press your heel away. Otherwise, keep a very gentle bend in your knee, flexing those toes back towards you, maybe a little bit of point and flex or circling. And then we'll bend the knee, drawing the foot behind us. You can either use your strap if you have it, or grasp your foot or ankle, whichever is working best for you. And you should feel the stretch in the front of your hip and in your thigh. So you're pressing your knee away from you towards the side wall. And if you're holding on to your foot or ankle with the strap or your hand, go ahead and press your foot into your hand, resisting the pressure to increase the stretch. Hold for a breath. And then gently release, let go of the strap, and bring the foot across. Maybe you can grasp your ankle or hand on your knee, extending the bottom leg, pressing out through the heel. We'll do just a few inner thigh activations, pressing the leg up, releasing down. Exhale up and lower down. Two more. Exhale up and release. Exhale up and release. Beautiful. Now bring your knees up and roll. We're going to come on to our bellies. Now, the first position we'll come into is Sphinx. So elbows underneath your shoulders. If this is too much in your back, you can walk your hands a little further forward. If you have any low back pain, you may prefer to have something underneath your abdomen. So you could use something like a folded blanket or even a small pillow and place it right underneath your abdomen. And that will take up some of that space, allowing the curve in the spine to be more gentle. So find your way into your Sphinx pose. Hands down, forearms on the ground, gently drawing the elbows back towards you to lengthen through the crown of the head. Try not to jerk the head up, right? So look down towards your thumbs and reach through the crown of the head. Press down through your hip points, maybe rock a little side to side to feel that connection. And then gently kick your feet one at a time, as if you're trying to kick your bottom. Just a few kicks. This may be perfectly fine right here, or you might want to reach back and see if you can grasp your foot. If that's not possible, maybe you'd like to use your strap. It's a little hard to get it there, but you have to lasso your foot. And then you can gently draw the strap up and over your shoulder. Whatever works best for you. If you're getting cramping in your leg, then go back to the kicking. If this works, then press that hip down into the mat. Maybe you press your foot into the strap or into your hand to increase the stretch. Wherever you are, we'll hold for 3 breaths. And then carefully release and come back to your Sphinx pose. Reconnect your hips, your pubic bone down into the mat. Maybe do a couple of kicks. And then see what it's like on the other side. Can you reach your foot? Do you need your strap? Would you prefer to stay with the kicks? Keep pressing the front of your hip into the mat. Maybe you press your foot into your hand or into the strap, opening the shoulder and stretching the front of the hip, the front of the thigh. Stay with the kicks if you prefer for 3 breaths. And then after your 3rd exhale, gently release, let go of the strap, and we'll make our way into child's pose. We'll press up through tabletop. I'm going to bring my bit of mat under my knees for comfort. Knees are wide, toes closer together. And sit your hips back towards your heels. And come on down, maybe onto your forearms, maybe to stacked hands, or stacked fists, or stacked hands, sliding the elbows out to the side. Breathing into the low back, into the hips, expanding on each inhale, and exhaling and softening, letting go. Stay for 3 breaths. Big inhale and exhale with a sigh. Let it go. 2 more like that. Big inhale and exhale with a sigh. And last one here. Big inhale and exhale with a sigh. Begin to walk your hands forward, coming up onto tabletop. If this is not comfortable for you to be on hands and knees, go ahead and roll onto your back, and you can do some of the same movement there. So we'll come from here into our cat-cow. Inhaling, lifting the tailbone, softening the belly, reaching through the crown of the head. Exhale, tuck the tail, belly comes in and up. Release the crown and continue. Inhale, opening the front body. Exhale, drawing the belly in, opening between the shoulder blades. Continue. And if you're lying on your back, you can bring your feet to the floor and just work with a pelvic tilt. Pressing the low back down as you exhale and releasing that press as you inhale. Just a few more right here. And then come to stillness, long spine. We're going to transition up to standing, but I'd like to take you through a downward facing dog. If that is not in your practice, if you're not comfortable being on your wrists, then please take your time, work with your cat-cow, and then make your way up to standing. For those of you who want to work with some down dog, we're going to walk our hands out a little bit wider. Index fingers pointing straight ahead, thumbs in towards the center, and the rest of the fingers spreading out nice and wide. Make sure your hands are wide enough. Your pinky should be touching the edges of your mat. We're going to curl back toes under and then press into the feet, lifting hips up and back. So the mistake that a lot of people make is that they stay up over their hands, and that requires an enormous amount of energy. So press the floor away, bend your knees as much as you need to, and lengthen your spine. From here, you can begin to press one heel and then the other, walking your dog. So notice how my hips are up high. My weight is pretty balanced between my hands and my feet. I'm kind of in a V shape. The spine is long, there's no rounding in the spine, and I'm reaching my tailbone behind me. Take a few more breaths here, and then bending your knees, slowly walk your hands back towards your knees. Let them bend as much as they need to. Walk your hands to your knees and come all the way up to standing. Now, sadly, because of having to Zoom, I wasn't able to watch you very well, so please report back to me at some point how you did with down dog. And I'd love to work on that a little bit more in class. It's a really great strength builder, right? We want to work on our strength, our bone density, and it's also a very gentle inversion. So it's helpful with moving fluid through the body. So come to your mountain pose, Tadasana, standing with feet about hip distance apart. Take a moment to feel your feet really connecting to the ground beneath you. Maybe rock a little bit on your feet, front to back, side to side. You can even circle your hips a little bit. And try to find that position of balance where you have equal weight distributed front and back of your feet and side to side. Let's inhale and raise arms up or out. Let palms come together. Look at your thumbs. And then exhale and draw them to heart center. Let your head come down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up. Follow your thumbs with your eyes. Exhale and draw energy to heart center. And 1 more like this. Inhaling up, palms together. Exhale to heart center and release. Reach down through your fingertips, up through the crown of the head. Press down into your feet. Imagine you were drawing your feet towards each other, your legs towards each other, lifting in the pelvic floor, lifting in the low belly, engaging, lifting up through the crown, through the heart, through the crown, reaching down through the fingertips. Feel the strength, the stillness, the quiet strength of the mountain. 1 more breath here. And then release it and shake out a little bit. We're going to come into our goddess pose. So stepping out nice and wide. And yes, as I said earlier, we can all be goddesses today. Once you have a comfortable wide stance, turn your toes out, your heels in comfortably so that your knees and toes are pointing in the same direction, right? The turnout comes from your hips, not from your feet. Inhale and reach your arms out. This is 5-pointed star. Get really long, reaching for the side walls. Get tall through the crown. And then as you exhale, bend your knees and elbows, coming straight down. Knees are over your ankles. Your hands facing each other, elbows at shoulder height. Draw your belly in. Open your heart, reach through the crown. 1 more breath, and then release, straighten the legs, lower the arms. Inhale to 5-pointed star, reaching out. Exhale, turn your palms up and bend into goddess pose. Press down through your feet. Imagine you could draw them towards each other, engaging through the inner legs, the pelvic floor. Keep pressing your knees out over your ankles, dropping your tailbone straight down. Belly is engaged, heart is open, shoulder blades drawing towards each other. One more breath and then release it. Straighten and lower your arms. Maybe rock your hips a little from side to side. And inhale. Last time, 5-pointed star. Turn palms up and find your goddess. Find the seat in the pose where you feel grounded. Inhale here, and then exhale, left arm comes towards right. Turn and look. Inhale to center. Exhale, right arm to left. Turn. Inhale to center. This time, both arms towards each other. Inhale to center. Left arm to right. Inhale to center. Right arm to left. Inhale to center. Both arms together. Inhale and press it away. Beautiful. Now I'd like to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So I'd like you to have either blocks or a chair or some other piece of sturdy furniture that you can hold onto. I'll put this right here. And for this, we'll turn our legs, our knees and toes to point straight ahead. Wide stance. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring your hands right to your hips and begin to send your tailbone behind you. We're flexing, we're hinging right at the hips. At a certain point, you may need to bend your knees to keep that long spine. Hands can come to blocks, to a chair seat. You could even come down onto forearms on your chair seat. We are looking here mostly for the length of the spine. Tailbone is reaching in one direction, crown in the other. Belly is engaged. If your legs can straighten a little more, that's great, but the most important thing is having the length in the spine. Take a few breaths here. And then with hands on blocks or your chair seat, begin to gently bend and shift your hips from side to side. Bending into one knee and then the other, very gently. Smaller bends. Try to keep the knees tracking over the ankles, over the middle of the toes. Come back through center, bend your knees a lot, walk hands to knees, and come all the way up. Take a moment to check your breath, and then slowly walk your feet back in. Now, we are going to try one balance pose that is challenging, and it is called dancer pose. And we're going to work with it either with a chair or a wall. So I hope that everybody has, or a sturdy piece of furniture that's at this height. So I hope everyone can find something. Grab your strap. So I'm going to have you bring your strap around the front of your left leg and then draw the ends up towards you and gently hold on to them, okay? So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to hold on to the wall. So I'm going to find my mountain pose and then slowly begin to shift my weight into my right leg, which is the one that's closest to the wall or to the support. I'm going to bend my left leg. My knee is pointing down. My toes are coming out, my heel towards my bottom. I'm going to, if you're working with a strap, bring the strap up behind me so that I have a little bit of assistance. You can even put it onto your shoulder. From here, begin to lift the leg behind you, keeping a lot of openness in the heart. Feeling that stretch in the front of your thigh. Stay right here or come a little further forward. One more breath, and then slowly release the pose and walk in place. Yay. Okay, we're going to turn to the other side. And on this side, I'm going to show you without the strap, but you can, of course, feel free to use the strap. So if you're using the strap, it's around your ankle, the front of your leg, and you're going to draw it up behind you. If you're working without, bend your knee and see if you can grasp your foot or ankle. And then press that knee down towards the ground. So it's pointing down towards the ground. It's kind of aligned with your other knee. Maybe you stay right here, or press your foot into your hand. Resisting that pressure helps to open through the heart, open through your shoulder. And then maybe you come a little further forward, bending your standing leg. One more breath, and then gently release. Let go of the strap if you're using it, and shake it out. Okay, I'm going to want lots of feedback on this at the end of class because I would like to know how that went for everyone. So take a moment to shake out, maybe a little Tai Chi twist to release the effort of the standing practice. And then we'll begin to make our way down to a comfortable seat for some seated work. I'm going to use my bolster for some support. Coming down with soles of feet together, knees apart. I'm sitting up on the edge of my bolster. I've been having some hip pain, so this will give me a little bit more support. You can even use blocks and bring them underneath your thighs or your knees to give you a little more support. And then bring your hands to your knees, shins, or ankles, and sit up nice and tall, reaching up through the crown of the head. As you exhale, sink into the ground beneath you, the cushion beneath you, your supports. But keep that sense of long spine, that upright feeling. Several breaths here, growing taller, longer on the inhale, and releasing, softening, letting the hips go, knees drop on the exhale. Just a couple more here. And then, if you have blocks, move them. Use your hands to help your legs come out nice and wide. I'm lifting my toes so you can see where my feet are. For this, I'm going to slide a little forward, so I'm just resting against my bolster. It gives me a little more support. If blocks are handy, you can bring them in front and rest your hands on blocks. Inhale, get nice and tall. Make sure that your knees and toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. On your inhales, get nice and long. On your exhale, see if you have any space to come forward. I can come and rest my forearms on my blocks and still have length in my spine, right? So we're not curling forward. We are tilting forward, hinging right at the hips like we did in the forward fold, the wide forward fold we did standing. With each inhale, I reassert the length of the spine. With each exhale, softening, finding the space that's there. Couple more breaths. And after your next exhale, if you have blocks, remove them carefully. Draw your legs in a little closer and bounce the knees very gently. Helps to let go in the hips. And then windshield wiper, dropping knees from the thighs, obviously the whole leg, in and out. Beautiful. Slowly make your way onto your back, drawing your knees in towards your chest to stretch out your low back. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. And bringing feet down to the mat, walk them out wide, knees up towards the ceiling. Arms can be out at shoulder height like a T. And allow your knees to begin to drop from side to side, getting a gentle twist. If it's comfortable, drop your knees to one side and stay, trying to open up the opposite shoulder. Maybe you turn your head towards your knees. You could even turn them away from your knees. See, it feels it's a different stretch, whichever way you go. Stay for a few breaths. And then inhale through center and exhale to the other side, or keep moving gently side to side. And when your twisting feels complete, come back to drawing knees into the chest, rocking and releasing. And I'll give you about 2 minutes to complete your practice with creativity, tuning into what the body needs at this moment. Maybe it's to go right into rest, or maybe you'd like a happy baby pose or a different twist. Maybe you'd like to have a wind relieving pose, drawing one knee in and extending the other. Maybe some bridge. Take your time to complete your practice so that you can settle into deep and integrating rest. And we will meet up there. Finishing up your practice and making your way into a comfortable position for rest. Maybe that's lying on your back with pillows under your knees and a pillow under your head. Maybe you prefer to sit up, leaning against a wall, or lying on your side with a pillow between your knees. What is the optimal position for you to rest and assimilate, integrate the work of your practice? As you arrive in your position for Shavasana, it is a pose. I know it seems like we're just lying down, but it is a pose, and it's not sleeping. So there's a sense of awareness, of a little bit of wakefulness as you release through the body, allowing the hips to be heavy, shoulders and the back of the head, maybe the heels or the soles of your feet pressing into the floor. Allow your arms to rest down, palms up or down, or bend your elbows and rest your hands on your belly. With each exhale, sink a little more deeply into the supports beneath you. into the cradle of the earth. With each inhale, grow more spacious and open, reaching to the sky and gathering it around you like a blanket. Softening in the feet and legs, hips, belly, heart is open, shoulders relaxed, arms heavy, palms open. Release through your neck and jaw. Tongue is heavy in the mouth. Eyes are heavy in the sockets. Relax the space between your eyebrows and smooth out your forehead. Let the crown of the head be open and spacious. Release, relax, and just let go. 7 white butterflies, delicate, in a hurry. Look how they bang the pages of their wings as they fly to the fields of mustard yellow and orange and plain gold. All eternity is in the moment. This is what Blake said, Whitman said. Such wisdom in the agitated motions of the mind. 7 dancers floating, even as worms, toward paradise. See how they banter and riot and rise. To the trees, flutter, lob their white bodies into the invisible wind, weightless, lacy, willing to deliver themselves unto the universe. Now each settles down on a yellow thumb on a brassy stem. Now all 7 are rapidly sipping from the golden towers. Who would have thought it could be so easy? Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. When you feel ready, gently roll to one side and pause. And then press into your hands and slowly make your way back up to sitting, allowing your attention to stay deeply inward for another moment or two. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om for the community that we create when we practice together. Bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me and with each other.